Welcome to Just Get Up with Isaac for daily motivation. I'm so excited to have you back here today on this great and magnificent Friday as we embark upon another exciting journey of self-discovery. And by the way, I'm having a magnificent Friday, so I am super pumped and super excited to share with you this powerful and impactful information that I have prepared for you today. So I welcome you to episode 10, part 3 of How to Overcome Adversities. So let's get right into it. Are you ready? I'm going to start off by making this statement. You cannot believe one way and then live another way. Allow that statement to really resonate with your heart. Allow that statement to travel throughout your mind. Allow that statement to circulate throughout your body. I'll say it again. You cannot believe one way and then live another. What does this mean? What does this statement mean? And why is it so important? This statement that I just made is the elixir to this whole process for you. It is the medicine that you're going to need to treat the sullied perspective that we have developed through bad conditioning from our environments, unconsciously and consciously. If you don't believe in yourself, nothing else matters. You can only manifest or expose, as far as your actions are concerned, what you believe in here. You cannot do anything unless you believe in it. So if you believe in evil, you display evil. If you believe in good, you display good. If you truly believe that you can start a business, your actions will follow it. Now, there's several other factors that we've been talking about, and really, we can talk about this all day. But you must believe in yourself, and you must believe in God, the person that created you. Let me tell you this. Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 10 says this. We were all made in God's handiwork, and we were designed for success and for good in advance. So there is no evil, there is no badness in the universe. If you eliminated every last human on this planet, the universe in itself is perfect. We create good or we create bad. We have that free will. But here's what's important to know. We were endowed with the seeds of greatness. Titus 1:2 says that God cannot lie. So if the Bible is showing that we were made with greatness and that we were designed for success based on Ephesians 2:10, you better believe it. You have greatness within you. But here's what's the problem. The problem is we don't really believe that we're great at times. We don't really believe that we can do the things that our heart really desires. I'll say it again. You cannot believe one way and then live another. So let me ask you this. Based on your actions, based on where you are in life, do you really believe in yourself? Do you? If you don't, let's start a new belief system right now, right here today. Here's what I want you to know, and you've probably heard me use this illustration before, but I want to use it again because it's so powerful that you believe. It's everything that you believe. So believe in yourself. So even if you currently don't fully believe in yourself, here's what I want you to do. Believe in my belief in you because I know what you have inside of you. When you think about the anatomy of the brain, if you study this stuff, it's the same. When you look at potential, what is potential? Potential is unlimited. No one can measure this. No one can measure your effort that you put into something. It's all about your perspective. So if you don't believe you deserve something, if you don't believe that you can do something, then your actions will never follow it. So if you recall from one of my past episodes, if I said that someone said, look, come here to China, we're going to give you $100 billion. It doesn't matter your circumstances. It wouldn't matter all the stuff that we have to do. You're going to find your way to get there. Why? Because you believe in that the money is there and they've guaranteed it. So if you truly believe that the things that you want to do will happen, your actions will follow. So that's a clear indication that you need to strengthen your belief system. And how do you start strengthening your belief system? First, you must be objective. You must accept this tangible reality that everything that has ever come into existence has come through our imagination. So remember, you're going to either create your fears or you're going to create your dreams in life that you really want. And here's another mistake that people make. And I've heard one of my favorite speakers, Zig Ziglar, say it this way: you cannot achieve someone else's goal. So if you don't make the goal yourself, then you'll never achieve it. So right now, what I want you to do is clear your life's canvas. Get a new pen, get a fresh sheet of paper, and you're getting ready to be the star of your own movie. It is a tragedy that we go through life and we become extras in our own movies. So imagine yourself walking into a movie and it only has 10 minutes remaining. And at that particular point, you don't know if the movie was good or bad. So let me ask you this. If you only had 5 or 10 years remaining in your life, or 5 or 10 minutes, if that journey ended for you today, would you be satisfied with how far you've traveled in your life? And let's say you haven't traveled very far. Let's just say you only had a few minutes. Forget about anything you've done. The next 5 to 10 minutes, or the next 5 to 10 years, so to speak, would your life be exciting? Would it be a smash hit? Would you give yourself a 2 thumbs up? Are you really, really satisfied with where you currently are? And remember, there's a difference between happiness and pleasures. You see, we're pursuing pleasures that don't objectively make us happy. What that means is our perspective is sullied. What that means is that we're believing one way and yet living another. Clear the canvas, get the pen. You're going to rewrite your movie today. It's going to be a smash hit, and you're going to come again and again and again until you succeed. So here are the 4 points we're going to consider today. What does it mean to have an evolving perspective? What is the importance of understanding and nurturing your intuition? Why you must be patient, and the importance of understanding and implementing goal-oriented tasks. Let's start off with number 1, your perspective. See, your perspective will control your belief system and also the information that you put into your head. Remember, if you're not putting new information into your mind, the right information, then you can't implement the strategies that you need. You can only go off of what you currently have. And if what you currently have is not the right approach, you're going to keep producing the same results over and over and over and over again. But let me tell you something. I want to share this story with you about me when I first started off pursuing my path to become an entrepreneur. So I remember my first job was 16 when I was in high school. I was working at this place called Home Health Solutions, and they fired me twice. So I was making $5.15 an hour. So the first time they fired me, it was because they wanted me to have a car, and I didn't have a car at this time, and they wanted me to travel all over without paying me for my gas. So they fired me, and they called me back. I remember feeling like, oh my God, this is over for me. I need my $5 an hour. What am I going to do? How am I going to provide for myself? They called me back and fired me again. After this, I moved on to work for a friend of mine, and I was about 17 at this time, and he washed windows. He fired me on the second day. He was like, I wasn't a good worker. You see, I always knew I didn't want to work for someone, and I knew that I wanted to pursue my dreams of writing. But remember, during this time frame, I was battling with all these sullied belief systems that people had infused into my heart's mind. So after that, I went to work for the Department of Revenue. They fired me too. So after that, I was like, man, I just can't maintain a job. So at this particular point, it would be reasonable to feel like a failure, right? Or would it? If I had not experienced all of these setbacks, it would not have directed me toward accepting the reality that Isaac Miller never wanted to work for someone else. However, I didn't believe that I could do it. So what I decided to do, I know that I liked working out, and I decided to go try to apply for a job at Breck. Now, what I did, I left my mind open to discovering the things I really wanted. I always looked at things as a stepping stone. So I didn't look at the whole stairway, so to speak. I just said, let's take one step at a time. So what I did, as I'm working at Breck, I'm just working as a fitness attendant. I had no clue that it was going to lead to me becoming a trainer. I just left my mind open. I had an evolving perspective. So an older lady walks up to me and she just says, I think you would be a great personal trainer. So I began to investigate. Now here's what happened with my perspective. I automatically assume that something is meant for you is supposed to be easy. This is where people make the mistake. It's not easy. You have to prove yourself. So think about this. Are we more inspired by stories where someone says everything wasn't handed to them? Or are we more inspired by the stories where we had to work for things? You see, we were engineered to think that way. So we have to get our thinking back right. When you want to do something great, it is always hard. No guy marries the woman that's easy. We marry a woman that we have to chase. No woman falls madly in love with someone that's just always there. You see, we have to work for things. We're engineered that way. To truly appreciate anything, when you put the work in for it, you appreciate it more. See, the harder you work for it, the harder it is to let go. So we must understand that. It's not supposed to be easy. And I also raised this question. What is easy? We have to uncondition all of that. So going back to the fitness, at this particular time, I said, okay, I'm just going to be a personal trainer. I'm going to print my business cards, and it's going to be great. They didn't go that way. And let me share with you a funny story. So this also shows that we have to leave room to grow. I remember the first time I printed my business cards, I went to this place to do it. And I had some gloves on, my little tank top, and I had my shirt up like that. And I was kind of biting my shirt. I had my abs showing. And in my head, I was like, okay, they're going to see my abs. They're going to love it. And one of the people that was talking to me, he was like, say, so what are you trying to sell, young man? And I was like, my personal training services. He said, well, to be honest, you kind of look like a stripper. So I was like, I kept looking at it and looking at it. I said, you know what? I do look like a stripper. So I decided to change it, and thank God that I did that. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, they're going to see my abs and they're going to want to train with me. But no, you still have to be professional. So anyways, I'm passing out all these business cards and no one is responding. I convinced myself I'm just going to hand out business cards and everyone is going to flock to me. It didn't go that way. So I had to recondition how I saw things. So then I decided to go try to get a job at Anytime Fitness. And what happened, when I went in there, the guy said, we don't accept this certification. So at this particular point, I didn't know the right certifications to get or what was required. All I knew is that I wanted to be a trainer, and I was determined to be a trainer no matter what. And remember, when you're vibrating at an uncommon frequency, when you're just so determined, people will help you, the right people. I can guarantee you that. You just have to have a full commitment. So anyways, I walk out. I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? So I'm not giving up. I've just recognized, okay, what certifications do I need? I had no clue. So the older guy named Sam, he was a trainer that was working at Anytime Fitness. He chased me down. He said, hey, how old are you? I said, I'm about to be 18. He said, you want to be a trainer? I said, yes. He said, this is what you need to do. These are the certifications you need, and go to school and get you a degree. And I said, okay. So I did exactly that. Now keep in mind, I did like working out and training, but my true passion has always been speaking and writing. So you can have several passions, but what you invest most of your time in will be what is manifested the most. So we do need to narrow our focuses at some point. And also, I truly believe in having several ways that you're manifesting your greatness. And some of us have this within us, but we all have something special in us that we need to release and show to the universe. So anyways, I did just that. Now, here's where I'm going with this. All these setbacks, remember I got fired 4 times. I still don't know what I want to do. People telling me that I can't pursue this particular dream because of how they think. But I never looked at it as I could not do it. I always believed in myself. So no matter what happened, I just kept searching. I just kept digging. There has to be a way. Where there's a will, there's a way for me. And if there's not a way, I'm going to create a way. So I was thinking this way unconsciously. But now I know. I never quit. I had one of my good friends named Tyrus told me that when I was younger, he said that you're a determined person. I never saw myself as like that. All I knew, when I want something, I'm going to get it. And I'm not going to stop. There's no negotiating with me when I want something. There's no reasoning with me when I want something. But I make sure that it's noble and in harmony with God's will. And it's something that I truly, truly want from within. And that's how you must be. You have to change your perspective. You have to allow how you see things to evolve. So it was a blessing that I got fired 4 times. It was a blessing that the guy just didn't accept my certification, because I went and got the credentials that I needed to set me up for my future success. And even then, when I began to manage personal training teams, when I was teaching people who were twice my age how to grow their business, and I had experienced all of these things and I knew it, I understood it, so I could teach it. I can teach people how to sell. I can teach people how to grow their business. But it came from believing in myself in trial and error and willing to go all the way in and find out what happens. That comes down to your faith. Remember, you must feed your faith, and your doubts will starve to death. So do you really, really believe in yourself? The things that you're pursuing, do you really, really want those things? How far are you willing to go? You must have the proper perspective. Now, this is what I suggest that you do. Clearly identify what you want to do and research the top 5 people who are doing what you want to do. And then study their habits, study their ways. Success leaves clues. Remember that. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel, so to speak, but we do need to think in a creative way to add our own uniqueness to it. So just study success. If you want to be successful, study the person that is doing what you want to do, and don't try to manipulate the system. So as an example, if someone works out 10 hours a week and someone says, I want to be like that person, they have the same body style, they're working out at 80% intensity and you're doing a 40, is it reasonable to conclude that your 40% intensity and doing 3 hours a week to their 10 is that you're going to be like them? And let's say they're eating 95% perfect and you're eating 40%. That's not reasonable. So you have to also look at your strategy. Are you succinctly and clearly following your strategy? Think about this illustration for a second. Have you ever been in a grocery store and you tried to push a cart where the wheel was off balance or wasn't in alignment? So the heavier that basket gets, it's kind of hard to steer the basket in the right direction. So here's what I want to ask you. Is it possible that you have a grocery cart full of unnecessary things? And then in addition to that, is it possible that you need to realign your thinking? So here's what's also true. Even if the alignment is proper, if there's too much groceries in the cart, it is still hard to push. So only put into your mind's cart, only put into your heart's mind the things that you really need and the things that you really want, and align your way of thinking. So if the top 5 people are saying do this, and then you look at how you're thinking and it's totally has strayed away from that, then you must adjust that. So if you notice that they took certain paths and certain things that they did for is what they put into their cart, and you have all these other things, then you must change that. If they're reading these type of books and you're reading other type of books, then you must change that. If they're watching certain programs and you're watching programs that are not in harmony with what you need, you must change that. You must put into your cart the things that you need. You must align your will in the direction that you truly want to go. And here's what you must also do. You must recognize that whatever you're not achieving really boils down to is your fault. You see, I'm not talking about when people are arrested or wrongfully or in prison or have injustices done to them. I'm talking about when we really think about it, wherever we find ourselves in life, we made an appointment to be there. It does not matter if it's unconscious or conscious. We are the drivers of our vehicles. No one can make you eat unless you want to. No one can make you do anything. You must realize that you are a creative genius and that in order to change where you are in life, your status, you must change what you're putting into your mind. If you want to have an engine that produces 450 horsepower or more, then you need a V8 or a supercharged engine. You must put the right fuel and have the right engine. You can literally change your mind. You can literally change the fuel that you put into your mind. You have untapped potential and unlimited potential. Another thing, you must be patient. You must be patient. And your patience must make sense. So when it comes to your patience, are you investing your life in the right way? Are you following your intuition? But you must train your intuition. This is why you must study success. You must change your belief system. It's so important that you do this. So you were endowed with seeds of greatness. So far throughout these episodes, I've been planting seeds in your head and in your heart's mind. But I want to ask you, are you growing those seeds? Have you developed the reading program? Are you listening to motivational speeches? Are you reading God's word every day? Are you watching your association? What are you doing? Have you changed your paradigm? Have you changed your pattern? Remember, if you don't consciously reset your body's thermostat, so to speak, it doesn't matter how much you're aware that you're not where you want to be in life. If you don't change your pattern and reprogram your mind, you will continue to do the same things. Your subconscious mind will make sure that you stay exactly where it's been programmed. Either you're going to strengthen your mind in a negative or a positive way. You must be around the people that are doing what you want to do. You must raise your level of awareness. Remember that interview illustration? Show up in life the way you want to be in the future. You must be that person now. Are you already being the person that you want to be? If you truly believed in yourself, you would take the first step and be the person that you want to be right now. So, are you doing that? Now, here's what I want you to understand. I want you to understand that you cannot achieve someone else's goal. I want you to understand that you must have specific goals. And also, I want you to understand how to identify the intricate parts of your goals. So, right now, if you don't know what you really want to do, if you're still in the discovery process, that's okay. But here's what you do know. Here's what you should know. You should know what you want and what you need, and to clearly identify an avenue or a direction you want to go with this current goal. But for those who do know, for example, let's say I had a goal to get in shape, lose 10 pounds, and be able to run a mile in under a minute. You must clearly identify every last aspect of that goal, down to how much calories I need to take in, what's my exercise intensity, what's my duration, what's my frequency, when should I switch it up, how long should I stay on this particular path, when do I increase my resistance. You have to know all of that. So when it comes down to your goals, take it in steps. So when it comes down to starting a restaurant business that someone may want as an example, what's the first thing I need to do? Okay, how long should I do that? Then when do I move on to the next phase? Okay, how do I move on to the next phase? You must sit down and think about every last intricate part that's a part of your goal. And then you must give each area 100%. Understand that. So example, if you need to make 25 phone calls a day to get 5 leads, you make 25, you don't get 5 leads. Don't stop at 25. Keep going until you reach 5. Until you talk to 5 people, as an example. See, what there's an indication of is either your strategy needs improving or the strategy in itself is bad. But usually is that we need to improve our execution of the strategies, especially if it's already proven. So just follow the path to success. Don't try to say, well, this is too hard, or this not working for me, or they were fortunate. It's none of that. It's you. If you're going to synapse this process, you're going to have to make a full commitment to believe in yourself and say, you know what? I'm not going to quit no matter what. See, think about this. If I worked out for 20 years straight and I stopped, do you know that those 20 years were for nothing? Why? I have memories, but I can't, and I'm not going to maintain any of its benefits. My muscles will get smaller. My cardiovascular will start to decrease. If I start eating bad, I'll develop a gut. So you must recognize, if you've been investing your time to something for 10 years and then you stop, that was a waste. That was for nothing. You would have been better not starting at all. It is a lifestyle. Greatness is a lifestyle. Mediocrity is a lifestyle. What if you were only a year or 5 minutes or a month away from cashing in on your goals? When you make a commitment to do something, you do not stop until you're living your dreams. If you become the person you want to be right now in this moment, and you just keep investing and improving yourself, you will wake up one day and live your dreams. I can guarantee you that. I'm thinking about when I was writing my book. Do you know I got rejected over 50 times? It was painful getting those letters. Oh no, never mind. Or this is not a good fit. I never doubted my ability. I knew I had what it takes. I said, you know what? I'm just going to refine this. You know what? I'm going to keep searching. You know, there's thousands of publishers out there. And not only am I going to get a publishing deal, but I'm going to get the publisher that God has for me. That's how you have to think. Life is an evolving perspective. You must believe in yourself. And although those pains hurt, I looked at ways to get better. I said, okay, what can I do better? What can I do better? I don't care if it was 2,000 times. I made a full commitment. I was not going to stop until I finished. And that's how you have to think. That's how you must think. Failure is simply a perspective. It is not a person. It is not an outcome that lasts forever. It is ephemeral or short-lived. And here's what you must understand. Currently, we don't manage time. That's a misinterpretation. Time is forever going. What we can do is manage our activities. We can't control time. Time doesn't slow down for anyone. We all get the same amount of time. So what are you doing with the time that you're being given? You're going to use it some way. How about this? Make sure you use it to maximize your greatness so that you can uplift the people that are around you. You can do this. So I want you to really identify all the goals that are necessary for your dreams. Start writing your goals down. Here's what I want you to do. I do coaching. I want you to contact me so that I can assist you with this if you feel like you need the assistance, and I will do it. And also I want you to understand this as well. You must have a fully determined mind to recognize if you start something for 5 minutes and then you stop, those 5 minutes were for nothing. Unless you're adjusting your strategy to have the right thinking. You have these seeds of greatness within you. Don't worry about your past. You can't change the past. See, right now, seconds are going. We can only recall the memories based on how mind is programmed. So a failure that I experienced, that's in the past. A good that I experienced, that's in the past. I choose to recall those things. And it's also based on how I feel. See, Maya Angelou said something that I think is powerful. She said, people may forget what you said. People may even forget the things that you've done. But people will never forget how you made them feel. So change up how you're feeling. That feeling of failure shoots to your subconscious mind and reminds you that you can't do it. Say, you know what? I have the feeling that I can do whatever I want to, and that was just a moment. I'm going to change that. You can either choose to relive your good experiences, or your bad. You decide how it makes you feel. Failure is simply a stage. You can keep changing it and learn from it. You can learn from it. Just remember that. So how do you currently feel about your life? Doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter what you've said. How do you currently feel? If you don't like it, it's time to change it. And remember this, Any goal must effect change. If it doesn't lead to change, if you implement it, it's not a goal. So what are your goals? Let's do this. So as we synapse this whole process, again, I want to look you directly in the eye. Not only do I want to tell you where you're born to win, you were engineered to win. You were so destined for greatness until you almost have to work hard not to maximize it. In fact, you are working hard. So since you are working hard, either way, remember, work hard in a way that not only brings praise and glory to God, but that brings praise and glory to yourself and that inspires other people. You can do this, and you are great. So that ends this particular series. Watch these series over and over and over again, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I invite you back next week for episode 11, and our new thing will be how to develop the will to win. Thank you.